I'm just really excited. I'm lucky to be here and to have been drafted here last year, and for this franchise to put so many great resources in front.
A seismic bombshell shakes the WNBA. The basketball world has completely changed as a result of Caitlin Clark, the league's fiery superstar, signing an incredible, unprecedented contract. As this game-changing agreement ignites wild conjecture, rivals are reeling and fans are startled. Why did Clark take such a risky action? What impact will it have on the future of the WNBA? Come along as we delve into the thrilling drama, analyze the startling facts, and explain why this historic deal is stunning the sports industry. Women's basketball is appended by Caitlin Clark's unparalleled covert agreement. It all started with a whisper that quickly caught on. It's possible that Caitlin Clark signed something that should not have been known. Before rumors circulated that she was secretly being courted by Unrivaled, the audacious new startup league trying to permanently alter the face of women's basketball, fans had hardly had time to acclimatize to her spectacular first season with the Indiana Fever. The tale appeared unbelievable. Ultimately, didn't Unrivaled already have a roster that was almost complete? Why did Chase Clark enter the game so late? And yet, there are rumors circulating about a transaction that may completely change the landscape of women's basketball. When insiders suggested that a Messi-level deal was being considered, the drama intensified. That's correct, yes. Lionel Messi's unprecedented sports contract is compared to certain numbers. If this is accurate, it goes beyond money. It's about making Clark the focal point of a movement. One of Unrivaled's founders, Breanna Stewart, is credited with playing a subtle but important role, reaching out directly while keeping everyone else in the shadows. Players like A.J. Wilson and Angel Ree, who thought they were the untouchable stars of this new chapter, must have been shocked to discover that Clark might have been given the golden key behind closed doors. But what does this signify for the future of the league? The odd timing has been brought up by certain enthusiasts. Why rush for Clark now that Unrivaled has secured the majority of its lineup? Some contend that the league misjudged the seriousness of her presence. No rookie in recent memory has garnered this much attention, after all. With sold-out jerseys and crowded arenas, Clark has practically instantly become the face of contemporary women's basketball. Would Unrivaled be able to function without her? Apparently, the response was no. Because of this deal seems more like an inevitable play than a surprise. Clark's own nuanced reaction is what adds even more intrigue to this tale. She has implied that people who were rejoicing over her disappearance from Unrivaled might have spoken too soon. If accurate, her admission to the league might immediately transform it from an experiment into a significant cultural achievement. However, the entire affair has the atmosphere of a spy thriller because of the secrecy, whispers, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering. A private call here, a non-disclosure agreement there. Basketball rumors now seem more like a political drama episode. The WNBA watches in the meantime. In comparison to men's sports, the league, which is currently in its 28th season, has struggled for years to garner widespread recognition. A unique opportunity for viral reach was presented by the entry of a novice like Clark. The number of attendees has already increased by more than half. However, a different league is now approaching her. Could her possible relocation herald a new era in women's basketball when choice, power, and leverage are just as important as competition? Nothing is proven, and speculation is still going strong. One thing is certain, though. The entire basketball world will have to pay notice wherever Caitlin Clark chooses to raise her flag, whether it be with the Fever, the WNBA, or wherever. She has become the most popular name in women's athletics. However, what actually led to Caitlin Clark's unexpected $75 million deal? Was it strategy, loyalty, or something the fans were unaware of? Stay here to discover out. Women's basketball is shocked by Caitlin Clark's $75 million agreement. Whispers started to circulate. There are rumors of a huge contract that could completely change the landscape of women's basketball. In the middle of it all, Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom who had already sold out arenas, was abruptly bound to a figure that was quite unbelievable. $75 million. Not only for playing ball, but also for becoming the face of Unrivaled, the ambitious new league that aims to challenge the WNBA and change the laws of the game. Just the number was astounding. To put it in context, the current WNBA MVP, A.J. Wilson, makes roughly $230,000 a year. By many measures, that's an amazing pay, but it seems insignificant in comparison to Clark's purported contract. Is one rookie truly worthy of such a sum of money? Or was Unrivaled just placing a huge wager on a single player who had demonstrated her ability to garner unparalleled attention from audiences, headlines, and the world? The fact that this incident was handled so discreetly adds to its intrigue. One of Unrivaled's masterminds, Brianna Stewart, apparently wanted Clark's role to remain a secret. The plan was to build tension, generate suspense, then deliver the news like a bombshell. But there are dangers associated with secrecy. When other players find out about the rumored figure, they may feel excluded or ignored. After all, veterans who have battled for every accolade may question why a novice is being awarded superstar salaries and worldwide benefits that they have never seen before. However, it appears like Unrivaled was considering more than just Clark's signature. Whispers about the pact include promises of expansion outside of the United States, guaranteed broadcast spots, and endorsement packages. The goal is to establish a movement as well as a league that might lead to new revenue streams and provide women's basketball players with the financial respect they have long desired. The media community has already responded. According to sources, TNT Sports and Unrivaled have reached an agreement worth over $100 million for more than 45 primetime games spread over 6 years. Power comes from visibility. Additionally, Unrivaled's gamble on Clark begins to appear less like reckless spending and more like a smart approach when contrasted to the WNBA's average of roughly 657,000 viewers each game in 2024. Will Clark genuinely represent a league that is still struggling? Or is this all just smoke and mirrors to create a buzz? Women's basketball is undoubtedly changing quickly. Caitlin Clark has already demonstrated her ability to get the entire sport to pause, listen, and ponder, regardless of how big the rumored contract is. But who actually gains from this women's basketball golden deal, and what caused it? Keep watching. In women's basketball, golden deal creates tension and excitement. Every time Caitlin Clark takes the court, fans can sense it. An energy that was previously absent is now present. Arenas are packed, crowds are louder, and social media seems to light up the instant her name is spoken. Her ascent has been attributed to more than simply her spectacular assists and three-point shooting. It's about what she stands for, a new focus on women's basketball. Maybe Clark is just holding up a torch that is bright enough for everyone to share, rather than stealing the show. Intrigue is further enhanced by the timing. In its 28th season, the WNBA is still vying for popularity. Owners have been reluctant to provide the same resources that men's leagues have had for years, wary to grow, and slow to invest. In this way, Clark's remarkable contract might be more about demonstrating that women's sports can no longer be viewed as a side project than it is about her personally. Nevertheless, the feelings that are simmering beneath the surface cannot be ignored. Clark's unexpected ascent is causing pride, excitement, envy, and even frustration to collide. Is this the WNBA's long-awaited breakthrough or the beginning of fresh rivalries in the background? There's no denying that Caitlin Clark has taken center stage, and women's basketball might never be the same. What, nevertheless, makes Caitlin Clark's star power unstoppable, leading to unprecedented bids and intense competition? To discover out, keep your eyes fixed on your screen. Bidding wars and record-breaking are sparked by Caitlin Clark's star power. Caitlin Clark is more than just another talented rookie, as anyone who is paying attention can see. She is a phenomenon that is changing the face of women's basketball. The Clark effect has been nothing short of explosive. Arenas filled with enthusiastic spectators from her first professional game, necessitating venue alterations to accommodate the crowds. With a roughly 50% increase in attendance, the WNBA was now generating headlines for record-breaking viewership as well as box scores. Over 1 million people watched Clark's games on screen on a regular basis, numbers never seen in the league's history. However, her impact extended beyond ticket sales. Within hours of going on sale, jerseys with her name were gone, breaking previous records for basketball apparel. Social media was inundated with videos of her deep threes and no passes, making every highlight go viral. She was doing more than just promoting the Indiana Fever, her team. Younger audiences and fans who had never watched a WNBA game before were drawn in by her enthusiasm for the league as a whole. Her entrance was, in many respects, a gift, the long-awaited catalyst to bring women's sports into the mainstream. However, popularity also brings rivalry and opportunities. Other leagues were paying attention to the Clark wave, even as the WNBA celebrated it. Ice Cubs' Big Three was one unexpected contender. A 3-on-3 league for men that includes former NBA players. Caitlin Clark was the first female athlete to be chased at this level by Big Three, which is known for its aggressive, no-nonsense approach. According to reports, the offer was 6 times greater than the salaries of former NBA greats. To put it in context, the top players in the Big Three made between $100,000 and $500,000 per season. According to Clark, Cube was prepared to defy expectations with a deal that would have outpaced anything the league had ever seen. Why such audacity? Because what many previously knew was acknowledged by Cube and his camp. Clark is more than a mere athlete. She's a force. She was more valuable than big celebrities who had spent years in the NBA spotlight because of her brand, personality, and capacity to draw audiences of all ages. Even though any crossover contract would be difficult due to schedule problems with the WNBA season, the fact that such an offer was made publicly demonstrates how disruptive her presence has become in the basketball world. What does this imply for the future, then? Could Caitlin Clark test her strength in other leagues and still be the WNBA's biggest star? Or will her career be thrust into uncharted territory by the struggle between ambitious newcomers and old institutions? Fans, brands, and even rival players will be keeping a close eye on Clark wherever he chooses to dribble next. Because Caitlin Clark is influencing not just games but also the direction of women's basketball. But why did Caitlin Clark make the audacious choice that rocked the basketball world? Might it alter everything? Keep in touch. Basketball is rocked by Caitlin Clark's audacious decision. This wasn't just another contract that was discreetly passed over the table. It was a bold, loud message that was intended to rock the foundation of basketball. Caitlin Clark was the target of Ice Cube, the genius behind the Big Three. And he didn't hesitate to cause trouble in order to win her. Cube thought Clark might add something completely different to a league already full with NBA icons and heavyweights like Lisa Leslie and Nancy Lieberman. Star power that was independent of age, gender, and even sports. She was more than just a women's basketball player. Fans from all around the sports world were drawn to it like a magnet. However, this is when the narrative takes a surprising turn. The prospect of fame and even the money did not enchant Clark. She graciously turned down Cubs' aspirational offer, opting instead to establish herself in the WNBA. Clark's choice was significant in a time when athletes frequently switch leagues in search of immediate fame or financial gain. It demonstrated devotion, a sense of purpose, and faith in something greater than herself. The WNBA was more than simply a source of income for her. She considered it to be her home base, where she could develop, compete, and inspire a whole generation of athletes. Naturally, this put the much-discussed new women's league in a precarious situation. Clark initially appeared to be an afterthought to their ambitious aspirations. Whispers started once they had filled the majority of their lineup. Had they misjudged her, or were they holding off on making a move until the ideal time, maybe following her rookie campaign? One thing is certain, yet nobody is certain. They realized they weren't only pursuing another player when they came back with an astounding $75 million offer. They were pursuing the past. For supporters, this action brought attention to something uncommon in modern athletics. Values over money. Instead of cashing in early, Clark opted for stability, competitiveness, and the opportunity to develop the WNBA internally. In a field where loyalty is frequently determined by who can make the best offer, her dedication established a new benchmark for loyalty. However, the conjecture and rumors persisted. What would have happened if Clark had become one of Cubs' Big Three? Would the combination of men's and women's basketball on a never-before-seen stage have sparked a moment of cultural crossover? Or what if she had embraced Unrivaled sooner, turning into their first-day star and completely changing their launch narrative? Perhaps part of the magic is the lingering questions. This is what we do know. Caitlin Clark is now more than simply a sensational rookie. She represents vision, ambition, and loyalty. Every choice she makes feels less like a business decision and more like a legacy in the making, whether it's turning down Cubs' offer or considering an unparalleled big deal. Her career is not the only thing that fans are observing. One decision at a time, they are witnessing a movement take shape. What, in your opinion, motivated Caitlin Clark to take such a risky and unprecedented deal? Was it fame, money, or something else entirely? Please share your opinions in the comments section. Remember to subscribe and like.